The changes at the top do not seem to be coming. Zion Williamson, overwhelmingly likely to go number 1. Ja Morant, overwhelmingly likely to go number 2. But all of a sudden, R.J. Barrett no longer feels like as much of a lock at number 3. Darius Garland is scheduled to hold a last-minute workout with the Knicks today. Could there be a shakeup at what we have thought for the longest time was 1, 2, 3 locked in? All eyes, of course, already on the Pelicans with the first overall pick. But after acquiring the rights to number 4 in the Anthony Davis deal, is New Orleans looking to make another trade? A team that's looking to move up is the Hawks, who currently own the 8th and 10th picks. But the Knicks reportedly rejected Atlanta's offer for number 3 overall on Tuesday. So Jay Bilas is here with us in studio. Again, you'll be in our main set tomorrow night coverage of the draft, and no one knows all these guys better than you do. I want to start with Zion, not only because of his extraordinary star power, but he's going to walk into a very different situation than most number 1 overall picks do. Most of the time, those guys walk into terrible teams, and they're just building around this guy. This team, because of the unique circumstance of the Anthony Davis trade, if they flip that number 4 overall pick for someone like Bradley Beal, he could be walking into a half-decent team. So my question to you is, what can he do on the next level the day he gets there?
He can be a dominant transition scorer. He is an excellent defender. I think he has to improve some in his defense, especially his off-the-ball defense, but he just makes plays. He is a playmaker. And at his size, his explosiveness, how nimble he is with his feet, the way he can score, it's absurd. I mean, look, we didn't make this up. And all the eyeballs that were on him this year, the ratings going through the roof, were not because we ran some promos that said, watch this guy. People saw him, and they couldn't believe how good he was. When I went to Canada and watched Duke play over the summer in that foreign tour they took, look, I had seen Zion Williamson in high school playing around all these little kids, and I thought, man, he's really good. I'd seen all the Instagram stuff, and, man, that unbelievable dunks. Then you saw him against men, and you're like, man, there's never been anybody like this to play basketball, ever. Now, he's not the best player I've ever seen. He's not. But I've never seen anybody like him on a basketball floor. With that size and explosiveness, his second, third jump, just the stuff he does. That one play he had against Virginia where he blocked a shot in the corner by DeAndre Hunter. Now, when I was watching that live, I go, my God, he got there from the middle of the lane. Well, I went back and watched the tape. He got there from the opposite wing. He was guarding a screening action on the opposite wing. And I was like, well, how did I miss that? And then I go, I know, because nobody's ever done that before. That's how I missed it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And look, people go, okay, he can't shoot it and all that stuff. He's got to become a better shooter. He will. But the stuff that he can do, very few players can do.
Greeny, I think he could be a 20-12 guy right out of the gate. Because first off, Ben Wallace said something to me that really changed my perspective on everything my first year in the league. He was like, Jay, if I just get 3 rebounds a quarter, I mean, with 12 rebounds, if Zion, one of the best skills that he has on top of his athletic ability is his effort, man. It is relentless. He just keeps coming at you. If you get a couple of putback dunks, you maybe knock down a 3, and playing with Lonzo Ball, playing with the Drew Holiday, or if they do draft Darius Garland, if they do make a trade, you play with guys who are playmakers, he's going to get easy points and easy rebounds.
That's a great point. Never takes a play out.
Absolutely. His effort is there. And also, I think him landing with the Pelicans was the best thing that could have happened for him. In the media, of course, we wanted him in the large market and to be on the big quote-unquote stage. But for him to kind of play under the radar in New Orleans, to play with a team that just made the playoffs a couple of years. And how about this? To slide into a spot that Julius Randle just thrived in. Another left-handed player that was kind of looking for a position, ended up scoring big, opting out of his contract. Now you bring in Zion, and I guarantee you, Alvin Gentry, another good thing for Zion, a veteran coach that understands how to nurture him and keep expectations off of him, is going to now put him in a lot of the actions that they just used Julius Randle.
And uncommon maturity. Like, he's not going to go into that locker room and separate himself or act like he's the biggest deal. He defers to his teammates in that regard. He's a really good young man that is not going to cause any issues that you've seen with other players.
I don't think we give him enough credit for that, actually, because so much is about his game, which is understandable. I understand there are some variables here, but are the Pelicans a playoff team next year?
No, not in the West.
How about if they get Bradley Beal? If they flip the 4th pick in the draft into Bradley Beal.
Yes, I would believe so.
I think so, too. I do. I think that the Pelicans' chance to be good. And the only thing you said that I disagree with, Jalen Rose, I agree with every word, except when you said off the radar. Zion is the radar. The radar goes wherever Zion
No,
Williamson
that
goes.
is not true.
You don't think he's going to be on TV every night?
Jay Rose,
He's not
Yes.
gonna be on
We will
TV.
max out.
on TV.
So
He will max out on the national TV appearance.
So y'all gonna act like Zion playing with the Pelicans is the same as if he was playing at MSG?
No, it's not the same.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying.
That's a different comparison.
I'm saying the
though, Jay
coverage
Rose.
of Zion, if he played in MSG, will be remarkably different than him playing with the Pelicans. We would be at every one of his games if he was at MSG. We're only gonna be every other game, not he's with the Pelicans.
Fair enough.